Marching to the sounds of binary hymn, the foot soldiers of the Adeptus Mechanicus calculate and execute their master's orders at a procedural level like no other warrior of the Imperium can accomplish. Relentless attack dogs of the Omnissiah, the Skitarii fire their galvanic rifles with robotic accuracy. Each and every warrior has received the blessings of the machine god and uses these augmentations to slaughter the enemy with methodical and aggressive force. These Skitarii are warriors born. Every soldier of the Imperium knows this. Similar to the Space Marines, the Skitarius is an augmented warrior whose only role is war. Unlike the Space Marines, these warriors have no will of their own. Their creation is a simple and sad process. And with that said, I want to welcome you guys back to another 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and today we're going to be talking about the creation of a Skitarius, or of the Skitarii. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, tell YouTube you want to see more of this, and it also tells us to focus on these types of videos, and subscribing, liking, sharing with your friends, all that kind of stuff helps out. But with all that said, let's get into 40 Facts on the creation of the Skitarii. As with so much of the Cult Mechanicus' business, the truth of the Skitarii's creation are kept a close-guarded secret. Most Skitarii are born into the service of the Mechanicus, either as natural-born human menials of the Cult Mechanicus who are cybernetically enhanced specifically to serve as Skitarii, or they are genetically engineered clones or vat-born humans who are cybernetically enhanced from the moment of their birth, much like certain types of servitors. Others are repurposed from the mind-wiped convicts or warriors handed over as punishment for failures or desertion. And it's important to note that unlike most servitors, most Skitarii are allowed to retain at least a small fraction of their higher brain function so that they can follow the more complex orders given to them on the battlefield. All Skitarii find a fanatical faith in the Omnissiah soon after their inception. It is then that their true transformation begins. Regardless of where the Skitarii stock comes from, they all end up having pallid bodies of puckered flesh and soldered cybernetics. Ceramic valves and adamantium sockets stud hard knots of translucent muscle. Even the brains of these warriors are grotesque hybrids of gray matter and twisting neural circuitry. The most blessed passive point called the Crux Mechanicus, where their bodies are more machine than flesh. Those that reach this stage of metamorphosis are known as Skitarii Alphas. Some go on to attain the rank of Alpha Primus. They are the overseers who can operate independently for standard years if necessary. They are as solid and reliable as the titanium that replaced their flesh. Those who look for technological consistency in the Skitarii augmentations would be sorely disappointed. Not only are the bionics so different, but the Skitarii themselves change slightly depending on the Forge world. A soldier of the Mechanicus may have a punch-card skull slot and leather lungs while at the same time housing quantum bioware in their brain. It is often said that if one of these enhanced warriors were to be rendered down, traces of nearly every element known to man would be found somewhere in their remains. The tech priests know this not to be an exaggeration, for dissecting is but one of the dark fates a Skitarius might undergo in order to satisfy his master's predatory curiosity. In order to guarantee their undying loyalty to the Adepts of Mars, all Skitarii undergo various forms of psychosurgery. Some have their minds wiped of both emotion and personality, and are implanted with mental directives designed to ensure that they follow the orders of their commanding tech priest or magos without question, even to the point of being essentially remotely controlled. Other Skitarii are allowed to retain a certain degree of personality, although their defined traits will always be belligerence and the desire to fight. Skitarii undergo genetic enhancement programs that develop strength and aggression, and are physically and cybernetically augmented to further these traits. During combat, these warriors go into a hormonal-induced rage, and likely become addicted to the adrenal high that close combat delivers. Despite this, however, the Skitarii, particularly their commanders, are neurally modified so that their analytic parts of their brains remain a bastion of calm amidst the storm of wrath, allowing them to quickly evaluate the tactical and strategic situations and then act accordingly. Every Skitarii has the ability to understand binary code, which can be nearly instantaneously sent, received, and understood by the Skitarii's augmented brains. This allows them to operate with remarkable degrees of cooperation, sometimes all the more stunning to be seen in a seemingly ragtag raging horde. Like all other adepts of the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Skitarii are experts at multitasking, and a tech guard officer can, for example, effortlessly engage in vicious close combat, direct the forces under his command, oversee the tactical situation on the battle, and provide coordinates for the artillery detachment, all at the same time. But this level of skill is obviously only reserved for those few within the Skitarii forces that need some type of command role. The level of cybernetic enhancements may vary between each Skitarii. Some may have a few genetic and bionic enhancements, while others that are more command role may replace whole organ systems with advanced technology. But most impressive of all is due to their extensive modification, the Skitarii can excel in almost any environment. Each legion hails from a hyper-industrial forge world, so extreme doses of radiations are nothing to those who have strode through the toxic wastes of Mars. And that's the lore to the Skitarii, or the creation of the Skitarii. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This is Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.